Hi Dolly, thanks for joining us today to talk about all things Standby CPD, including your latest article on knife and gunshot wounds. Are you happy to start by telling us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, certainly. So I'm Dolly. My real name's Melinda, so that's why you see the title is Melinda Dolly McPherson, and it's a nickname I've had since I was a child. I'm a paramedic. I've been working in the ambulance service and then a specialist paramedic, and I now work as a trainee advanced clinical practitioner in the emergency department.
How long have you been working as a paramedic for?
So I retrained as an older person back in 2011, and then I've been working ever since.
And you've been writing for Standby for about 4 years now. I wondered how you first heard about Standby CPD.
Well, it's really funny actually, because when I was a student paramedic on our base, I was in quite a small station. We always had Standby CPD on the station, and we would genuinely use it during our standbys. And I remember thinking as a student that I really liked the level that it was pitched at and that I could really learn things from it. And then about 4 years ago, there was an advert put out to become authors for Standby. And I remember thinking, gosh, I really enjoy that. I love writing and I like learning from writing. And it just seemed to be a match made in heaven.
Oh, that's really great to hear. Yeah, your articles are always wonderful. It's a joy to work with you as well.
Oh,
What was the first article you wrote for Standby CPD?
I wrote one on hyponatremia. And that was kind of formulated off a case where I went to a patient who had told me that he'd recently been in with hyponatremia and then had a few vague symptoms that, after looking it up, I realized could be secondary to hyponatremia. And I knew so little about it. I thought what a great way to learn about it was to write a bit about it.
So do you find that you often base your articles on like real life experiences?
Yeah, so it varies. I think the lovely nature of Standby CPD is that we're given a lot of choice in terms of what we write. And so sometimes it's based on a case where I've come away thinking I'd really like to dig a bit deeper into that. And other times it's based on readership requests. So I know a lot of our readers put in requests for what they'd like articles on. And I've certainly scrolled through the list sometimes and thought, oh, that's a really good topic. I'll have a look at that.
Yeah, definitely. Is that kind of how you normally start the writing process, by picking the topic first and then researching it? And
yeah, so I tend to find the topic that I'm hoping to write about, and then I'll go away and I'll do a literature search, a bit like you would in any kind of essay, a bit glutton for punishment. Go away, do a literature search, find out what is out there, and then I'll step back and also then have a look at things like podcasts and the educational material out there like Arkham Learning, and kind of get other people's learning and try and amalgamate it all together. And then I'm really blessed by kind of having a lot of people around me who have a huge amount of knowledge. So I often go and pick their brains as well.
yeah, well, it sounds like you're really thorough in your writing. It definitely shows in your article. It's good to have that kind of team approach and bouncing ideas off each other as well. Something we're probably all missing a little bit at the moment. I know I am. So the latest article you wrote on knife and gunshot wounds has just been published. We're sure lots of readers are really interested in this new article. I wondered if that article had kind of come from any personal experience.
Yeah, so that was a combination of the two things I just spoke about. So I did have a case with a patient that presented similarly to the patient that's described in the case. And then I also noted that it was on the readership request list. So I thought it was a nice amalgamation of the two.
Quite a difficult topic, but hopefully
Yeah.
it'll be really useful for a lot of our readers, definitely. Other than Standby CPD, what other writing projects have you worked on?
I've published a couple of articles in the Journal of Paramedic Practice, predominantly around some service improvement projects that I've done, and then an educational piece around renal colic a few years back. Yeah, otherwise I've kind of kept my writing to academics at the moment. So I've just finished my MSc and I've just done my prescribing. So it's been a full-on life of sitting in front of my computer.
Yeah, you must be super busy and writing for Standby as well. Wow. Are there any other projects you've got in the pipeline at the moment?
Yeah, so at the moment I'm doing some case studies for a new book that Standby are doing on mental health in paramedic practice. So I'm just updating those and hopefully get them across very shortly. And I've written an ABG, interpreting ABG chapter for a book as well.
Would you want to write another article for Standby this year or?
Yeah, I'd love to. I've got up until March, I'm doing my trainee ACP role at the end of March. I'll hand in my 3-year portfolio for it. And that's quite a big kind of case workload to do. So I was hoping kind of after March to get back in contact with you to do something
That'd
then.
be great. Yeah,
Absolutely, would
honestly.
love to.
Yeah, send me an email whenever. I'm always happy to hear from you. That'd be
Yeah,
really good.
hopefully by then there'll be things like cafes and stuff open and you can take the laptop down to the cafe and get a nice coffee.
Gosh, I'd absolutely love that. It'd be so nice. Actually go to some cafes in Bristol.
Yeah, totally. Thanks for kind of allowing me to be an author. I think it's really great that Standby get a big group of people and that way all your articles come from different perspectives. And I think that's really beneficial to the readership.